All right, our last presenter before the break, and our next presenter is Henrietta, and she is the founder and executive director of Higher Ground International and Broken Pieces. And I think you'll find her story quite compelling. Here's Henrietta.
Well, before I can tell the story of Higher Ground, I think it's important to give you some background as to why we're here. I'm originally from Liberia, West Africa. My country went through decades of civil war. And it's within that time, going through war, that the tragedies and what we had to see people go through was something that brought me to this place in time that I'm about to share with you. Liberia was founded in 1820 by free slaves. Of course, we all knew that. And then 86 people left from here, went to the country. 1847, they declared Declaration of Independence. When I talk about Liberia, I remember a place from my childhood that was a wonderful place. A very caring, nurturing place, a place that people came from all parts to seek as a refuge. It was a place that I remember, that just brought a lot of joy. And something changed. In 1989, we had a civil war that happened. We had children who were stolen. They were raped, they were drugged to become child soldiers. Over 250 people were killed. We had people lose their dignity, ran as refugees. I had my mother, my sister, my family members became refugees. A lifestyle that we never knew existed, as we knew as a country, was what happened to the people in Liberia. We saw children who were stolen and taken as child soldiers. What happened to these kids? Young girls were raped, girls as young as 10, 12 years old, having babies. We saw little boys whose lives were taken away. These are images of war. When I had to put these slides together, it was impossible for me to create 20 seconds of people's lives. How do you talk about it? How do you tell their stories? How do you make people understand the decimation of a country, a people, a place? How do you tell that story so that it creates impact, so people understand that it's not fleeting, it's not something that just moves away with time? And so we come now to the place where we are in terms of Higher Ground International. This is personal for me. This is important. In 2008, I incorporated a nonprofit called Higher Ground International to give back and to work in Liberia, to help these people who have seen so much tragedy to regain their life. This is the renewal that we talk about. The idea of hope and resiliency. Of people who are so grateful, have so much love to give, and want so much for themselves. Our first work in starting, we had our opening where we have young people, we teach them African dancing and drumming. People have come and we volunteer. Everything we do is free. We started a youth after school program because there was a need in our community. We have a lot of young people in this community here in Rhode Island who actually had lived as refugees, who were born in refugee camp, who were former child soldiers. They're all living here with us. And what do we do to help restore them? This is the work that we do. Everything that we do is free. Nobody pays. We started with a donated space. We had over 200 volunteers that came on board, and everybody started working to help. And now, we currently are on the ground in Liberia. We're doing work. We're in a village called Ardenton. But within Ardenton, there are towns, 10 different villages that we are supporting. We're starting to do our clean water project, putting in 3 wells right now, because the villagers at the first slide that you got to see, they have a creek, and that was the only source of water. So we completed our first hand pump last year, and right now we are putting in 2 more hand pumps, and we're building a community bathroom. We're doing all this work, and you should see, they are so grateful, and it astounds me that something that we take for granted as a hand pump, I still don't understand it. That the whole village, everybody comes out because they're so happy for it. And that's the least we can do. We started Broken Pieces as a social venture. The idea of nonprofits, I've worked in the nonprofit sector for 23 and a half years, and I see that we always have to keep chasing funding, and especially when you're doing the work in Africa, it needs to be sustainable. So we have started to create various type of products and stuff to manufacture these things where we will sell them. So part of the proceeds go back into doing the work that we're doing in Africa and helping the young people that we are working with here in Rhode Island. You know, these are just a few samples of some of the things that we have. It's coming about. We don't have everything ready just yet, but we have a website. People can talk to me. I can direct them as to how we can get the products. And thank you.